why do you think is the case that a lot of people in the country have this belief, or at least some perception, that UDP has?
No, it's not a lot of people. It's just fringe people.
Okay,
It's just the peripheral, the serial.
However you want to quantify, why do you think this is the case in the country? That
I for the haters. I for call them the haters.
No, I'm not gonna call them that. Come on.
They're gonna give you a sensible definition why they're saying something crazy like that.
No, but you have, okay. How can you see somebody like the deputy party leader of your party, for example, Ajam Sheikh, standing at a rally and saying,
yeah, you see, that's the problem.
No, I'm giving you. No, it's not an isolated incident.
These sound clips. They take these sound clips and then they go on, multiply. Hold on.
My point is, right, regardless of how you want to contextualize that, you have to realize too that if
but it's there.
Yes, it's there. So some people just you have to realize the dangers of that, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's unfortunate.
And my point is, even before you get into it, I don't believe, and I've said this several times on my platform, that there is no ounce or semblance of tribalism as a systemic issue in the UDP. It's not there. Even ideologically, it does not exist. But we have some individuals who are on the fringes of the party who are tribalists, who are nativists, right? They, in fact, until today, some of them, listen, Abubacarr, if you want us to talk about that, we can. Why are some of them even saying Talib Bensouda Jammeh? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have people
who said that.
People do say that from your party, from the UDP. That's not.
Hello. Let's address this, Ibrahim. Hello, look. Okay, we need to be very careful. You understand? I think as people with intellect and then with platforms and with expectations that could be in calendar demanding.
Yes.
Let's all do a good job. Okay. Whenever we hear these kind of things, let's not amplify. Let's try to kill it at the root cause of it. Because okay.
But Abubacarr, to be fair,
you cannot expect. No. I'm kind of in there. You cannot expect a party member of UDP, okay, with such a large, broad support base. This is not DOI. Okay, this is not DOI where less than 5,000 people in Banco can identify or some SFL, family party, whatever. So, this is a massive party from Kwena to Combo with hundreds and thousands of people that are passionately supporting some, education levels are different, understanding levels are different, but they are passionate. You understand? Naturally, what you have is a broader array of information, okay, or opinions in social media, WhatsApp audios, and so many things that are flying all over the place. More thing that UDP, some guy in with a platform and TikTok, no matter for long. He have thousands of followers every day. Menka thinking, Malon Dumalam. He's out there. I've never met him. I've never seen him. Usain have never seen him. Usain have never met him. You have some guy in New York over there, another audio about another WhatsApp about when they can more chemical every day. Ntamalo form a dime mala matuna content for long. Usain mana janya, Usain mala be damning. When I look more for Jana, now you want to come and tell me UDP will go.
No, nobody said that. No, nobody said that. So no, listen. You have to let me finish. And I led the premise from the question I was going to ask now for in the call. UDP, as an ideology, we don't have a tribalism problem in the United Democratic Party. And as a policy too, it has never been an issue. But I did say to you that for you to try to make that as a peripheral issue in terms of individuals in the party who are on the fringes, who are on the extreme side, we can accept both issues can exist in a way to say that, look, party is...
You in the party. Yeah, you in the party. Well, I'm trying to make a difference here. Party supporters that are doing their thing. You in the party. You're talking about within the party, the executive, the active members that are doing their thing, that are making, basically formulating policies. Or in the party.
Yes.
A couple of party supporters.
Party supporters, yeah, they have membership. They do have membership of the party.
Somebody I don't even know this. Somebody we don't even know who they are.
Yes, but
I know how Mr. Darboe is having. Exactly. Because it's so big and what
but
it doesn't be a control. We don't almost 225,000 people casted their vote for us.
Yes.
You understand? When they have family, they have strong people, they have relatives. You all put together, the membership can easily be 400,000. Yeah.
But if
no,
but
I cannot police it.
No, not to police it, but you can distance yourself from when circumstances like that happen.
Then I'll keep doing it every day. Then do want to make for distance. Someday I'll spend my whole party's energy every day distancing. And this is what I told my party no ngani for na particular media team nge won jande luma na mala man ngaje se ko atol nak abila fon ko fe la jar ko this time we are not going to allow this where every Tom, Dick, and Harry in finding Konkole debunk can find a distance. What we do now, if somebody comes and says, UDP, we have a criteria. Okay? I come with UDP, Dumala, Tofala, for Yena. Number two, evidence lay. I am a yellow see that what you call Talib Neng. Nanka 3 weeks, audio killing Boninge, May Talib Nenga, Talib Galmala, when you massacre. Okay, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, get an audio fullness again. One day, within 2 days, I had an audio, a video of Lamin Camera, ala dom side manager, Menkatraba like a boat, Kanasorokai, we was in Darboe Lasilo Berena hitter. Okay, you simple Sam Ginida, you simple Salamin Camera, Yangi Tao, Mini Tao, Mula Kanasori. Momsaka was in Darboe, Saga Sose, Saga Jarankay. Say it, so this is going to be our criteria moving forward. If you don't have a video, you don't have an audio, you don't have a screenshot of the Nendiro. I don't want to hear it. F off. I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to be here policing 300,000-400,000 people. Give me evidence and I'll deal with it. Ibrahim Sonkalam, Ngabala, Ngafalone, Ngakumanka, Ibrahim, address, if party needs to put a statement, you put out Mobile Hajul. But in cry wolf, every young Kanyamala, Anam.
Yeah, but do you agree that people are being subjected to insults from some members who identify themselves? And that's not just unique to UDP. Listen, let me just clarify. That's not unique to UDP. It happens with APRC. It happens with, in fact, perhaps this was in NPP. It happens in other parties as well. But I just want to seek your opinion. Do you think
let me read you something right now. Hold on, one second. See this guy? This Alaji Sidia Fofana. Talib the right hand man, Talib order from Bondi, can you praise? Alaji Sidia Mala Giram de la Santa. Yeah, let me read it. Ako, because man, very bad English. Of course, you are very stupid. Darboe lost 5 elections. You think he'll win us? He will risk a 6th. Even when we have better options, he selfishly put himself before the party. Alcoholic loser. Solomon did stuff like didn't mirror from Jara Karandaba. Talib la right hand. Faka audio bondi ka fay thank you. Ñene bayni Morocco ñene kam mol ngay. Faka audio bondi. Audio mo buljana ka fay man na girim. Ñi nanri la jawjo la weto fo jani mboyo afele. Aka fu usen alcoholic loser. Yalla ñu say defele. Ñi mo en defa ma ñi mo en defa ñi ne lay fo defa may. Ndeta bolel ndena bi ñu faalen sar ko jan. Na fo defa ne iba ñi mel ko tiyo. Afele jam. When did Talib come out and debunk this? Ndeta fele ndanga itandi la. Ate I think that ko dañ ma saga. It's a right hand man. Thank you for your good job. Alcoholic. You are sitting here, you think I'm stupid. Ita didn't matter. I don't know Tandanesi. I don't know Kakamolene. You never look at it. You say the family will look at it. You can't get the Lambani when I start with that. It's right here.
No, we abhor violence. We don't.
You telling me now, I'm putting it to your face now. You never gave me any evidence. I showed you 2 evidences immediately. I show you his Kanasora, a dumb side manager, Lamin Camera. The next day, Talib Kanasoreka. Nyimfanam fell the same thing. Talib over the cafe. Thank you very much for your good job. Malena Sandilin Jerep Sendige Brafet. Audio Mobijan.
So just to make the point that it's not just about Talib, UDP or NPP or APRC, just the whole conversation about like political rhetoric and propaganda and insults, especially tribal insults, among other things. I think we can all agree that is rife in our political space. It's not so much of a systemic issue. It is more of a political score-point game, right? And I don't know if at all you agree to that as a problem or you don't, because I'm really curious to understand whether you.
No, insults, or we call it insults. We call it vitriol. Okay.
Yeah.
Chaps. Dehumanizations and all that kind of stuff. It's all part of the political space. It's not going anywhere. It's everywhere. You go to Senegal, it's worse. Jang membi jang quarter. It's 10 times more than Senegal. You go to America, I like Trump demonizing a whole congresswoman, calling her nasty, calling a whole people nasty, and all kinds of stuff. Okay? There are PhD holders in America right now trying to be all educated. Saul Njie, do you see Saul Njie say anything about that shit? No. I tell a PhD, I'm more debunked. I'm call like stupid people. Why is he Saul Njie not insulting people from the South? The Republicans in the fucking Mississippi and Tennessee that are always voting Republican. I don't care if you bring them a killer, they'll vote for them. Why is he not categorizing those people as tribalists and racist and blah? I heard him say
he did.
No. I heard him calling the Republican Party, but in his job, when he's facing the Congress people, now the Congress I can report deal. I don't follow it. But now with Dilajan working with his, like he works for the, whatever, he writes reports for the Congress people. He's not gonna say shit. Okay? So Janna Balafirokala, I see the Abenin Mol Parapareja. Thinking you are a fool. But
no, Buba, that's not fair. I don't think that's a fair characterization.
Let him go rather. No, let him go rather in his academic books, in his writings to Congress. Let him go and describe people of Mississippi as this when he's writing the report for his Congress people.
Sulayman did not say UDP is a tribalist
party. He called them racist. He said Democratic Party, whatever. He's like UDP is like he said just like Democratic Party, racist party.
He said no.
UDP are nativist. He called it nativist.
No, he said there are some members I wanted, bro. I didn't tell the platform. There are some members who have nativist ideologies in the UDP.
That's all they say. That's always what they say. Some members. So why don't you address those some members? You know who they are, right? Address them. That's what I do. If you mess up, I go after you. I don't go after what if Talib does something, I go after him. That's what you do. You don't just go and no. If you know somebody's been, if it's me, some elected nonsense. We don't do that. If you want to go after Yankuba, go after him. Then you face the consequences of going after Yankuba as a man. But I don't because I know exactly. I come smarter. You take a damn well smarter. See, I'm not
So let me ask you this. So clearly you've brought Saul Njie's name up. What do you make of him and his political analysis of our country?
Who? Saul Njie?
Sulayman Njie, yes.
Hello, Saul. Like I said, somebody's I'm pretty. I know you met Saul in we came over. Remember, like when you guys came and met in DC. Remember that time?
Make your point. I'm waiting. Yes.
Yeah. So one day I know this kid since Nyakwe. He came from the school of thought. I went to Nyakwe too. I was first batch. Doyla Karamu. Yeah, fam. We are the first batch. Uniform to move. So me so Karandingala. He went through the Nyakwe school of thought. He is exactly like Halifa Sallah in his mindset. He keeps blaming this ethno-linguistic funko of the Gambia. They blame everything on the UDP, basically dominance, and then basically hinging on ethno-linguistic advantages or dominance. So instead of looking at themselves, fighting this political fight and then gaining ground, they just basically lazily give up, the UDP's dominance and then attribute it to tribalism. So they code it in language called ethno-linguistic. Nativist. You understand? So it's not very far. I know the type of people, the mindset, they are angry that UDP is having this project and they cannot break it. But they are not, what they should be doing is having some introspective view of themselves, finding ways. Because I met Doi in Jara one time in 1990, whatever, when they came to campaign. You don't, every society in Alakola, there's a way you attack Brikama. If I go to Brikama today, I ignore Bulundala, I ignore Sanekunda, I ignore Bojankunda. Ajal, Najara Kunda ignore Kongaranka, that was the Mepim Paranaja, Brikam Kubesile Benjibirate. Yeah, Lansaro, Brikama Lansaro, Nanyakasuala. What does Usan Dabo do? Another Brika Kamaka, Sanekunda, Amajil Murayat. Smart. Adam Baro atara Africa somebody among Master Fandai, but you know for them one of these people now somebody just but if that's what you go, if you don't go there, you'll fail. Will Doi do that? You think Halifa will gonna hire that? Halifa will feel so basically, I wouldn't say so big, but Halifa wouldn't do what Ousainou is doing. Have you ever seen Halifa Sallah? Halifa Sanakunda? Wala Bulundala Molia? No. But you want their votes. So the same thing when they came to Jara, Alcalo kata Alcalo ya. Ajal, ye dante. We don't just start con ita si banda waro. Yela speaker lande and yela landova. Ika mo alnga bankola keso, bankola rankeso tenente. They be like, what are you talking about? Follow the people you can ha. But I'm not political thing I will say you want to blame UDP. Kaken come man ka kola na UDP katate. So Sonjang there from that school of thought.
I do not agree with your position, but I respect it. But what I do want to say to that is that I do think that every country in the world has an ethnic or tribal group that is favorable to a particular party by virtue of the majority of that particular ethnic group. It's in the West, it's more racial. In Africa, it's more tribal, right? We see that this is a fact. But I do not think that what they're doing basically is scapegoating, for example, a particular tribal group in the Gambia. I think what they're doing, in my estimation, is they're acknowledging that there are certain, especially with the growth of our politics today, some people are growing more to the right. They're getting more to the idea of these nationalistic tendencies of, we are, in fact, the rightful people that belong or at least own this. Like that idea, I'm not saying that is a systemic issue. We have these isolated cases, and I think it's okay for us to acknowledge that too, Abubacarr. That's just my issue. Is I think for you to sort of make that as a peripheral issue, or to use all the people, including like people like Saul, who characterize situations like that as, oh, we have certain nativists in the UDP as though they are in fact tribalists. I don't think that's the case. I do not think they're tribalists at all. I think they're just highlighting a pattern of incidents that will continue to happen, and that may be a warning in our politics.
All I'm doing is, okay, I'm just taking you back to Sonjai's school of thought. See, even in America, when Glenn Beck speaks, if you were for me, I was more of a liberal, democratic, whatever. But as I grew older, I became more centrist. I don't subscribe to most of the crazy liberal ideas, and I'm not too overly into the conservative ideas either. So I became more of a centrist. But if anytime somebody like Glenn Beck opens his mouth, I know the school of thought that Glenn Beck is speaking from. Glenn Beck will never be, understand, my cup of tea.
Yes.
But that's his school of thought. So when people like Chris Wallace speaks, or one of these, Michael Savage or Rush Limbaughs of the world, that's their school of thought, and they will never deviate from that. That's what they are.
Well, are you saying?
No. When Sonjai speaks, Sonjai is speaking from the Halifa Sallah school of thought. Those guys will never see or accept UDP's dominance. And this is what happened in 2016. Halifa been resisting UDP's numbers for almost 10 years. You got UDP leader, we have to go to primary. What primary? Who are you primary? You're going to primary against the party that have 27 to 30% consistently. You're getting 3% consistently since 1985, and you want to now have a say or lead that party's coalition, which is practically impossible. It doesn't happen anywhere. 2016, I am forced to implement his school of thought on us, intellectually denying UDP's numbers. Primary, each party brings 70 people. Now you are telling me GPDP, 100 Gomez party, okay? Well, more 70 was someone in UDP Kanya Sembola. Basically telling UDP, I'm killing. PPP, 1% NCP, non-existent, you more 70 dealer. PPP, more 70 dealer. GMC, my party, I'm is 70 dealer. So now GMC, PPP, GPP, whatever, Ibeni UDP kind of symbol, 70. Alaka and Mebutler. Mela system will use against you and then prove you wrong. Manaketa, it are in the boot. 70 people from each party. They went in the boot. Who won? UDP won. Halifa got 64 votes. Ala 70 because ala 70 $70 diala. My party la $17 fu. GPD la $17 fu. Because motibu. Ala be funny hande. Ala yatan loko al motala bulu mbay tan ko motala bulu. Ndole fu mo 70 la. They went in the boot, they voted Adam Barrow. Comfort Amata no. he still keeps saying ethno-linguistic. Man nigga poor. I want to forget coded
Yeah, but he doesn't say it.
language.
He doesn't say it
So
in
that
negative.
school of thought,
Yes.
will never accept UDP as a big party because Kamera control man can we are not there for policy. All like UDP is not a policy party. Bam policy party. Ninga na buko la ninga na policy la yita la nen tole be busala. We are more intellectual than you. Handing a muna karana samanang. They look at us as coming to move. We are just basically following trends because of tribe. They have no policy. We want to make our 5-point agenda policy body. Even Arabic, we put it in Arabic. Nobody has ever done that here. We went beyond, above and beyond. Silly can give we are just followers. Because they cannot accept, because people will accept UDP. Yes, identity, politics or identity.
Yes.
You cannot deny that. America will lie better. I need to identify with you. America can't follow, we need to do things to identify with this group, blah, blah. That's what you do. If you can't do that, go and be an activist. Stop being a party. So Saul Njie is directly from the root, from Nyakoi to Anti Amiola Karandi and Uncle Saul Njie, Uncle Saul then Walatara School. I talked to Saul. He approached me in 2021, and this is the fact. This is the weird part. If you knew UDP is the English, whatever party you think UDP is, why are you confronting me and telling me you want to donate to UDP? Go and put it on that GoFundMe and put it anonymous. If you trust us to give your money, then you shouldn't be saying all these things. Why would you give it your money to a party that's a nativist party? Why would you do that? Does it make sense? No, because they don't believe what they're saying. They are jealous. They are stuck with their 3%. They can't move around 3%. They have nobody to come and move that 3%. They brought Quran didn't work. They brought Jihadugure left. Kekistan is there, still struggling. And they'll never go past that. Their party cannot go anywhere because they don't want to conform to Gambia politics and be a regular politician. If I see a bit. Like I said, have you ever seen them at Bulundale? At least just talk to people. They'll never go there. And without Bulundale, you're not going to win. I don't care who you are. You can bring your PhD, bring whatever you want. You're not going to win. So accept this or go home. But stop blaming people, telling people how, yeah, they can get the money. We are not accepting this. Saul is a dishonest intellectual. I wish now debates are faster, Baranda. Can no one, he shouldn't be calling me, telling me I want to donate to UDP. To do what?
I can set it up.
Donate to a party that you don't believe in.
Look, I can set it up. I'm happy to set it up.
Nah, man, I don't even have time for that. Please. Yeah, I'm too busy. I have my campaign. December, next day, 2021 December. Go see that already.